Hello, this is a prepaid collect call from
Michelle.
an offender at the Chillicothe Correctional Center.
This call is from a correctional facility and may be monitored and recorded.
To accept charges, press 1. To refuse charges, press thank you for using Securus. You may start the conversation now.
Hey, Michelle, how you doing?
I'm doing fine. How you doing?
I'm great. Can't complain. Won't complain. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Real Whirl Podcast. I have a special guest on the phone with us right now, and I want to thank her after she introduced who she is to you guys for even just giving me the opportunity to sit down and interview her. She's blessing us with this interview, so I want to thank her. Let the audience know who you are.
My name is Michelle Johnson, and I'm known to millions as Precious Doe's mother.
Yes, ma'am. This is, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it right. Michelle is on the phone, and she is the mother of the Precious Doe. But we're going to talk about the Precious Doe case, but I don't want my audience and the new people who don't know who Michelle is, I don't want them to know her for the Precious Doe situation. I want them to know Michelle for who she is now. I want them to know Michelle, what put her in prison where she is and how it led up to the situation dealing with the Precious Doe case. Okay, Michelle. So how long how long have you been locked up in penitentiary?
I've been locked up for 16 years.
16 years. Okay, and do you have life?
My sentence was 25 years. I have 15, 4, a 4, and a 2, running all consecutive.
Okay. All right, they're all running consecutive. So, what is it? The time frame we looking out for you to have a possible out day?
I go back to the board in 2023, and I'm praying, if God's will, that I get a date at that time.
Once again, you've been locked up for how long now? How many years?
16 and a half years.
16 and a half years. Now, Michelle, within that 16 and a half years, I want to ask you, have you just been laying around, just licking your wounds in prison, or have you just said, you know what, let me take what happened to me and help other women so they won't be in the situation that I'm in?
From day one, my goal is to help the other Michelles and Ericas out there that who's going through or been through what I went through. I have achieved everything in prison that you can possibly achieve. I've done anger management, impact on crime on victim, which is also known as ICBC.
Mm-hmm.
I've did criminal thinking, domestic violence, drug class, grief and loss. I've achieved my GED. I also obtained a divorce from my co-defendant, Harrell Johnson, and I have no communications with him. I completed a women's empowerment program. I became and went to training to be an ICBC, so now I teach the class. And I use my experience in situations that I've been through so we can make no more victims in the world. I completed this class called Balance Living. I just completed Voltech in Culinary Arts, and I'm currently enrolled at Ashland University College, and I'm working towards my associate degree in business management. I'm also in process of writing a book that tells about my life
Call
story.
from a correctional facility and may be monitored and recorded.
I'm in process of writing a book that may tell my life story and help the other Ericas, Michelles out there who's going through that I went through. And I just want to be a testimony for others going through what I've been through life and let them see what I once was and what I am now. And I maintain work at Missouri Vocational Enterprise, so I've been really busy. I stay busy.
That's great. That's a good thing. See, now with Voltech, I know in Voltech, we got a couple of those like Voltechs here in the state of Michigan, but not in prison for high school people that going to high school and they're learning trades and certain things. Is that the same thing that's going on in
In
prison?
prison, Votech is it's like a trade, yes, because you got business and you got Cosmo and you got culinary art, and because I have 7 more kids, and so that's one thing I love to do is cook. So and I like to cook from scratch. So that's what Votech is, like a trade.
Okay, that's great that you're not just sitting around in prison. You're there. You're doing something with yourself and making it so you can show these people that you are going to be more of an asset to the community than a liability. Because in prison, it seems that you're being an asset to the community and not a liability.
A saying that I say, or I feel and hear a lot, is that I'm not where I want to be, but I thank God I'm not where I used to be either. You know what I'm saying? I'm a firm believer of God, and I believe that, God got a purpose for everybody's life. And I'm just blessed to be here because by me being here, I learned how to love Michelle. I learned who I was. I learned that I don't have to be, my past don't have to dictate my future. So I made a mistake. I'm taking responsibility to that, and I just want to make sure that if I just touch one person, then it's a blessing. It's a blessing for me and my baby, my little girl.
Amen to that. Now, I want to, before we go any further into anything else, your daughter was known worldwide as Precious Doe. Would you share to the podcast audience what was her name?
Her name was Erica Michelle Marie Green.
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, Precious Doe, her name is Erica. So, we're not going to touch the case right now or anything that lands you there. Let's talk, Michelle, about where are you from? Where you originally from that brought you to Missouri? Where are you from?
I'm originally born and raised in Chicago, Illinois. And I left Chicago, sad to say, a man. I followed a man.
Was the man at the time to follow him, he had to be a good guy. What happened to lead you to the other guy?
Well, I had the first man I said I was in love with, and I thought he loved me. I was 13 years old, living in Chicago, Illinois, and I always felt like the black sheep of the family, 6 of us, and I was being molested at a young age, and I'm also biracial. So I had both sides of the family. It was a lot of prejudice on both sides. One because I was white, and one because I was black. So I had uncles calling me zebra, Oreo, and then I had the white side, calling me nigger, and, so I always wanted to be accepted. I always wanted to be loved, attention, and so I wasn't getting that. So an uncle, a family member, was molesting me, and then a friend of the white side was molesting me, and it started as 5 years old to like 16 years old. And so by me being molested, it made me very flirtatious. I guess that's all I knew how to do. And so I got with my baby daddy at 13, and he was very abusive to me. And I had 5 kids by him. Erica was his child, and he was very abusive.
This call is from a correctional facility and may be monitored and recorded.
The DFS took my 3 older kids, and I was told to leave him and I could give them back. But I chose him, and I gave my kids to my mother and father, and I left and went to Oklahoma. And that's where I met Harrell, the other man. But when I was in Oklahoma, I went to Oklahoma when I was 18 years old. And Harrell, my baby daddy or my first kid had me prostituting, or I'll get beat, stealing. He was on crack cocaine. So I started doing crack when I was 16. And I was prostituting when I started when I was 16, and he prostituted me to Harrell. And that's how I first met him in Oklahoma. And I left him on 11 years of being abused, and I got with Harrell. And during the time that I was with him, he was abusive too. But I always say, because I thought that I could change him and make him love me more, or I could be what he wanted me to be, and he would love me more. And at this time, I'm going back and forth in my children's life. I'll go visit them, or I have more kids and give it to my mother, take them back to Chicago and leave them with my mom, and go back to Oklahoma. And yes, and I have.
You have 1 minute left.
No, you can go ahead and finish. I wasn't interrupting. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, because I heard this operator say I got 1 minute left. But I will call back, audience. I'm really excited about getting this out. I just want to help anybody that's going through what I'm going through. I mean, what the media has put me as, that's not who I am. I can admit that I just loved the wrong people, and I didn't know what love was. I can admit to that. And I just feel like there's so many women out there who go through that, who don't feel love or feel worthy, and tend to stay just because they feel like that's the only way they can get love. And then I'm here to tell you that's not true. If a man is beating you or touching your child, get out. Get out. It's places you can
Thank you
go.
for using Securus. Goodbye.